Hi there and welcome to this 134th live tech Q&A session powered by Lenovo Vibe. And you can ask me tech related questions and hopefully I'll be able to answer them. And to post your questions, you have to post it via Twitter and you just need to use the hashtag that is known as askgeekyranjit. And if you're not following me on Twitter, do follow me and also follow me on my YouTube channel and subscribe if you haven't already done that. And I can already see quite a few of the questions, so let's start taking them up. But before that, let me quickly check the audio, guys. That's working. So let's start taking up the questions. And I'm getting questions regarding the OnePlus 3 a lot. This is by Likhit Reddy. He's asking, do you think OnePlus 3 is worth for its price? And did you review it? I'm going to review the OnePlus 3. Just stay tuned. And yes, as of now, they are like touting that 6GB RAM model for 28,000. And for that price, it also has 64GB of internal storage. I feel they should also introduce a 4GB RAM model. Frankly, I do feel that with maybe 32GB of internal storage, and that can be priced a little bit more aggressively because frankly, I don't feel that everybody needs a phone with 6GB of RAM. But again, they have a virtual launch at 10 p.m. India time today, so we'll know the other details. And yes, stay tuned. I will be posting stuff about the OnePlus 3 later on. Let's move. This is by Amit Dyut. He's asking, do you think the smartphone market is getting saturated? And that too at every price point, a downfall ahead. Yes, we are seeing a lot of competition in the smartphone market now, and we are seeing the new entrants and they are competing on the price. But I think so this is a temporary phenomena. Great for customers because we do get a lot of choice. But in the next couple of years, there'll be consolidation. I don't frankly think there is space for so many players that are jumping around. So we will see a consolidation in the future, and there will be some brands that will be targeting the mid-range, budget range, and some brands that will be obviously targeting the premium segment. So it'll be like the PC market right now, what we have. Let's move. Okay, this is Karthik Pujari. He's asking, tell me your experience on the JioSIM. For example, yes, I'm using the JioSIM on this live handset. This is a Flame. If you have watched my last Q&A also, I spoke about it. Handset is nothing great. You'll get this device only for the SIM card. As of now, the offer is such that if you buy this device, you get the JioSIM and you have unlimited data for the next 3 months, and also voice calls you can make free. In that respect, it is working fine, I would say. I'm mostly using it as a Wi-Fi hotspot whenever my internet connection goes down. And in the place where I am, my office, I'm getting good speeds, about 35 megabit downloads and about 10 megabits uploads. But again, the speed is varying a lot here, at least in Hyderabad. In some areas, it's just touching about 9 to 10 megabits. So overall, happy with it, but I don't like the handset because the battery life of the handset is not good. Charging also takes a lot of time. So yeah, the only thing I'm using right now is the unlimited data. That's for 3 months. We don't know after that what will be the plans. Let's move to the next one. PA1 is asking about Project Tango. Is it really useful? Your thoughts on it? Yes, when I was in San Francisco, Lenovo showcased that first commercial Tango phone, the Fab 2 Pro. The thing is that it's a special case phone in my opinion. I did had some of the hands-on time with it. It worked, I would say, but I don't think so. It's a normal smartphone that every consumer would use. It's sort of a specialty phone. I felt that it'll be great for people who are architects or who like to move, interior designers and stuff, of people who like to measure a lot of stuff. That'd be great. For example, the best case example I could give is that if you have that Tango based phone and you want to see what furniture will fit in your house, using that phone you can just map the area where you want to put that furniture, and virtually you can place that furniture and see how it looks. So in that case scenario, that Project Tango phone is great. But again, as I told you, it's a special case scenario. I wouldn't recommend that device for a general smartphone user who would not use those features. But if you use those sort of features, yes, I feel it's really interesting concept, and I did demo it, and it worked in the demo. Anyways, let's quickly move to the next one. Okay, again, Anish is asking another question. He's asking your favorite thing from the Lenovo tech world. Lenovo also showcased some of their future products. No, I won't say it's future. I would say concept products, and I liked two of them. There were foldable smartphones that could actually fold entirely, but the bummer was that we were not allowed to touch it. It was in a glass box. It was a working prototype, but we simply couldn't test it out. Another device that I liked was that what do you say, smartphone, but you can just slap it on your wrist and it just rotates and it acts like a wristband. So that was also there, but again, they didn't allow us to touch it and play it. They said these are sort of concept products. They are able to make it in their lab, but commercial availability and stuff, they simply cannot comment as of now. So I like that. And I think so if these products in the next 2-3 years come to the market, it can really change the way we actually use the smartphones and the other devices that we have. Let's quickly just move to the next question. Let me just quickly move. It's just repeating. 1 second, guys. Let me just refresh the questions. 1 second. Getting a lot of questions. Okay, I'm getting questions regarding DSLR. Mohammed Farhan is asking about best DSLR under rupees 25,000. I don't review DSLR, so I simply cannot comment. But check out what do you say, Nikon and Canon. They have some DSLRs under 25,000. I personally prefer Canon, especially because I do for video. If you mostly take video, then I feel Canon has a slight edge. But again, you can also check out Nikon. Okay, this is by Christian. He's asking your expectations on the price of the Moto Z and expectations of OnePlus 3. So two-part question. Let's get to the Moto Z question first. I did actually, we and other journalists actually did ask Lenovo officials, no, not Lenovo, Moto officials, I would say, regarding the pricing of the Moto Z. And the only reply that we got from them was Moto Z is a premium product, so expect premium pricing. And they said they cannot announce anything else as of now. So I don't think so the Moto Z will be priced really aggressively. They said that it will be a premium pricing product. OnePlus 3, yes, we know that. Again, today, I don't know what is the bummer, what is wrong with OnePlus 3. They had a paper ad today, and the 6GB RAM variant of the OnePlus 3 will be sold for 28,000 via Amazon. More details, they have the, what do you say, live cast at 10 p.m. India time today at oneplus.net. So let's quickly move. Again, Moto Z, similar question. I've already answered that. Why is like Twitter is going crazy? It's just repeating the questions. One second, guys. Let me just, I'm just refreshing the questions. One second. Let me refresh. It's just scrolling. For some reason, Twitter is acting crazy. It's just repeating the questions. What I'm looking at. Okay, let's move. Who is this top tweet, man? You're spamming like crap. Okay, anyways. Okay, this is by SAD. Interesting question. He's asking, I think MIUI in Redmi Note 3 is not properly optimized and still has a lot of bugs. It's getting a lot of lag in Redmi Note 3. Yes, in gaming, I did notice some lag. And yes, there is... it can be optimized, I feel. But again, trust me, it's not as buggy as the Mi 5. The Mi 5 is having a lot more issues than the Redmi Note 3. For example, I had serious network issues when I put my Airtel 4G SIM on this Mi 5. And even when I went to US, I had this Mi 5. I put the T-Mobile SIM on this. And then also I was having networking issue. I know one more other person who was carrying the Mi 5. And he also put a T-Mobile SIM in the Mi 5 and I was having networking issues. So yeah. sort of buggy, but trust me, it's not as buggy as the Mi 5. With the Redmi Note 3 here in Hyderabad, at least on 4G when I tested it, and in fact my father is also using the Redmi Note 3, it's working fine on Airtel 4G. Let's move, but I heard it is having some issues with BSNL and MTNL networks, the Redmi Note 3. So if you're using those networks, yes, you might have some issues. Let's move. Balaji is asking, he says, have severe battery drain on my 1.5-year-old OnePlus One. Is it normal for battery to deteriorate? Battery, yes, sorts of deteriorates, I would say slowly, but it won't be a drastic drop. Let's say one day you are getting 6 hours of screen on time. Then suddenly the next day, if it drops down to 3.5 hours or something like that, then check the apps, I would say, and see some of the apps might be just consuming a lot of CPU power. I would suggest, if you can do that, back up the phone, important stuff that you have, and do a factory reset. So if it was happening due to some rogue application or something, that can be solved. Let's move. Some of you are asking about gaming PCs, which processor to use. I have actually stopped testing. I don't do work on gaming PCs and processors, so simply cannot comment about it. Personally, if I had to choose between Intel and AMD, I would go with the Intel, because I had good luck with Intel processors. I had also earlier used AMD processors, but frankly speaking, I had better luck with Intel processors. But the con is that Intel processors are relatively little bit expensive compared to AMD chipsets, AMD processors. This is by Abhi. He is asking, what do you say? Tell me about Mizu M2. Is it a good buy? Tell me about its pros and cons. I won't go in depth regarding every pro and con, but I don't think so the Mizu M2 is a good buy, because if you watch my gaming review with that, it was lagging severely, I would say. And the Mizu M2 is available for rupees 10,000. I feel the Redmi Note 3, even the 2GB RAM model, would be a far better buy than the Mizu M2. So I would recommend the Redmi Note 3 over the Mizu M2. Nihar is asking, he's asking, Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 or the ZUK Z1. I'm a power user and camera average will also do. I have already done the comparison for these devices, if I recall, on my channel. Just check that. Yes, if the camera is the weak point on the Redmi Note 3, so apart from that, it is fine, but Redmi Note 3 does lag a little bit with some of the games. So if you are okay with that, I would say you can go with the Redmi Note 3, but also the ZUK Z1 is also a very good phone, particularly if camera is priority to you. I feel the in terms of camera, if we talk about the Moto G4 Plus, ZUK Z1 and the Redmi Note 3, the Redmi Note 3 has the weakest camera. I hope that helps. Again, as I told you, Twitter is acting a little bit funny. It's just repeating the existing tweets. I don't know. 1 second, guys. Let me quickly refresh this. Okay, give me a second. Sonak is asking, Lenovo ZUK Z1 has root access or not? By default, it's not there, but you can root the ZUK Z1. Your warranty would be valid even if you root it and install custom ROMs on it. Okay. This is Samir Ahmad. He is asking, which one is better in battery life, the S6 or the S6 Edge? Both of them have almost the same battery life when I tested it last year, so you won't find any major difference in terms of battery life between both those devices. This is an interesting question. This is by Arnav Patel. He's asking, what do you think, can Xiaomi be #1 company, he says, in the coming years, and can it overtake big brands like IBM, Apple and HP? IBM, Apple and HP are computing. I think so in smartphone, yes, they can be a good force, but the problem with the Xiaomi is that they have to really work on the software and optimize stuff. I don't know why they are putting so much attention on the MIUI. If only Xiaomi can release a version of their smartphone with stock Android UI, I feel a lot of people, at least in India, will like that and will have a lot less bugs. So End of the day, I would say it's the end user experience that count, and I feel the MIUI as of now, both with the Redmi Note 3 and even with the Mi 5, I feel it's not that polished. So they have to really work on the software part to mitigate the bugs and the other issues that we face frequently. Let's move. And also because of that MIUI, generally you know that Xiaomi phones get Android updates very slowly. Let's quickly move. This is by Lalit Dhupalia. She's asking, why do you think the what do you say, iPhone 5s started becoming popular after the release of the 6s in 2015? It's just due to the pricing, I would say. The price of the iPhone 5s was drastically reduced even in India after the iPhone 6s launch. Hence, it became really popular. But as of now, I would not suggest the iPhone 5s. It's sort of pretty outdated, I would say. Okay, this is again a question by Shri, a generic question. I'll take this. He's asking, a lot of companies introduced 4G in India. Can you tell us which one is the best? It's very difficult question to answer, because what I have noticed is that, especially in India, no mobile provider is best in every region. For example, Airtel is excellent in Hyderabad region, but when I travel to Mumbai frequently, I feel Airtel is not that great in that region. There, Vodafone is a lot better. So in every region, there another mobile provider is better. So you have to check in which region do you stay, and check with your friends or whatever and decide. Because here I feel Airtel is really good in Hyderabad, but Mumbai, as I've told you, there I feel Vodafone does get me a lot better reception and network coverage. Let's quickly move. Smarat is asking about Nextbit Robin. Any second thoughts? Didn't like it. Watch the gaming review. It's heating up like crazy. Even with general usage, it's getting pretty hot. So I simply cannot recommend it. I really like the phone, but it's heating up quite a bit. So difficult to recommend, especially in Indian conditions. This is by Shubham Sen Gupta. Interesting question. He says, best smartwatch with touchscreen and voice calling. Voice calling, oh my god. Battery isn't a priority. Voice calling, I don't know if the Huawei smartwatch supports that. Check that. I just don't recall because I haven't tested that. But I think so. The Huawei watch or the LG Urbane has that voice calling feature. So you can check that. If voice calling is not very important, I would say check out the Moto G second generation. I really like the second generation, but again, you can't do voice calling with the same. This is by Vedant. He's asking, what are your thoughts about the Moto mods versus the LG G5 mods? Which one are easier to use? Again, the implementation is very different. With the LG G5, you actually have to you have this button. Let me try to demonstrate. Let me just make it full screen first. This is the LG G5. For the mods, you have to press this button and you have to pull this out actually. So you are shutting off your phone, and then you have to put that separate mod and put this in. So it's not instant, but with Moto mods, it's just an accessory. You just take it and just slap it. You don't have to reboot the phone or do anything. Within 2 seconds, it recognizes that that mod was attached, and you can start using it. Just yesterday, I posted the video about the Moto mods, and even when I put the projector mod, within 2 seconds, the phone detected it, and I was able to use the same. So I would definitely say the Moto mods is much easier to work with it, and you don't always have to have that. Let's say I'm done with that projector module, I can just detach it, I can just pull it and continue my work and put a battery mod or something like that. So I feel implementation of the Moto mod is more practical and sort of easier, I would say. Let's move to the next one. Sahil is asking, when would be the Moto Z be available in India? it's definitely going to come to India. I asked the Moto officials, but they didn't specify the time frame. The vague reply that I got was after the launch in US. So they are launching the Moto Z in September in US. So it's going to come out only after that time frame in India, but it's surely going to be launched in India as well. Let's quickly move. This is an interesting question. Let's just take this. This is about myths. This is by Daniel. He's asking, does 6 gigabytes of RAM have boost in performance, speed, and daily tasks? No, Daniel, it will not boost the performance of the phone or anything like that, or make things really fast. But where it will really help is that if you are a crazy multitasker, like in fact you jump between heavy games and stuff like that, then it will be useful, because even when you jump between heavy games, if your phone has 6 gigabytes of RAM, the other game will be in memory, so you can jump between them. But again, it won't make your phone super fast or anything like that. I'm actually using some of the phones that have 6 gigabytes of RAM. I'm testing it, and to be frank, in my day-to-day testing, I didn't find a huge practical difference apart from crazy multitasking. Again, in normal multitasking, you won't even come to realize that it has 6 gigabytes of RAM, because you won't touch that. But if you are a crazy multitasker, yes. But again, apps won't magically work faster, or your phone magically won't work faster. Let's move to the next one. This is by Akshit Jain. He's asking, is the yellowish tint on the display of Nexus 6P normal? Yes, Akshay, it's sort of normal, nothing to be worried about. The Nexus 6P has a warm tint screen. It's purposely done like that. So yeah, it's normal. So it'll look a little bit on the yellowish side. Utrash is asking about who's the stop tweet pen. Like, why are you retweeting? Just stop that, okay? I won't take questions, okay? Anyways, looks like just check your what do you say SD card. SD card must have got corrupted. Utkarsh. Let's quickly move. Rakesh, he's asking, why are there so many negative reviews of the Redmi Note 3 in Flipkart review section? I think so, as I've already mentioned earlier, with MTNL and BSNL networks, I know that it is having some network issues. So maybe those users are having issues with that. But I have tested the Redmi Note 3 with Airtel 4G in here in Hyderabad. And I've already mentioned earlier also, my dad also uses the Redmi Note 3. I've given him the 2 gigabyte RAM model, and it's working perfectly, I would say. Let me just quickly refresh, guys. Give me a second. I have to actually block this guy. Who was the stop tweet? I'll do it later. Anyways. Pro Austin is asking an interesting question. I don't have an answer about it, but because I don't do multiplayer gaming. Anyways, this is the question he's asking. What is the best phone for playing Asphalt 8 even in multiplayer? Actually, to be frank, I just don't do multiplayer gaming. In fact, I don't do hardly do any gaming on smartphones. So if any of you guys actually do multiplayer gaming with Asphalt 8 and you have a good experience with a particular device, do suggest mention about that to Austin. Anyways, let's move. Okay, this is by Prabhu. He's asking, sir, any idea about the next MacBook Pro, when it will be launched? I was also actually waiting for that yesterday. The entire keynote for Apple I watched. I thought they would refresh the MacBook Pros and the Mac Pro, but they didn't mention anything about it. So again, we have to wait, I guess. Leon Pinto is asking, can Redmi Note 3 camera be improved by optimization? I think so. Already Xiaomi has optimized how much they can, because the camera performance had improved when I started testing it and the state at which it is right now. But I don't think so magically it can improve a lot more. So it's the limit, I would say. Anyways, let's quickly move. This is by GIT. He's asking, He says, should I sell the Note 5 to buy OnePlus 3? I'm not looking forward to the new Note as it would be very costly. It can be an upgrade, I would say, JIT, if you don't use the S Pen features of the Note. If you sort of like stock Android experience, that would be nice, because now, frankly, I feel Oxygen OS 3 that will be on the OnePlus 3 is pretty decent. It does not have that much bugs. And yeah, just stay tuned. I will soon be posting stuff about the OnePlus 3. So you can have a look at it. But yeah, the Note 5 already, if you have, I feel is a very good device. I don't know why do you want to jump to the OnePlus 3. Let's okay, this is by Rupal Khanna. He's asking, is the Samsung Galaxy A5 2015 worth purchasing? I would not recommend the Galaxy A5 2015, or in fact the A7 2015. You can check the review that I posted for the A7 2015. Whatever flaws that I have mentioned about the A7 2015 are applicable to the A5 2015, and the A5 2015 in fact has 1 gigabyte of RAM less than the A7 2015. So for that price, I don't see it as value for money, I would say, except for the fact that the camera is sort of decent. Madhav is asking, is the Snapdragon 650 as good as the Snapdragon 820? No, Snapdragon 810 is far superior to the Snapdragon 650. There's no doubt about it. Let's quickly just let me just check the audio, guys. Okay, that's cool. That's working. Let me just. Ash is trying to troll me. He's asking any thoughts on the U Unicorn. Here it goes. And Ash, I don't know about it. Maybe you can review and give us your point of view about the same. Anyways, let's move. Okay, 1 second, guys. Oops. Oh, okay, this is. Let me refresh, guys. Again, it's like crazy. This. Okay, yeah, I got some questions. Okay, this is by Ramesh. He's asking, what are your thoughts on the LE TV LE2? Will it have a better camera than the Redmi Note 3? I hope so, because the LE1S camera was sort of very close to Redmi Note 3. In some areas, the LE1S camera did better, but in some aspects, I feel the Redmi Note 3 camera did better. So let's see. I'll try to get the LE2 whenever it's available. I'm really trying to get hold of that device, guys. So yeah, I'll definitely try to review it, and I'll compare it with the Redmi Note 3, and I'll also do the camera comparison. Okay. Okay, this is a very peculiar question. This is by Vijay. He's asking, is becoming a tech reviewer on YouTube good, or becoming a software engineer better? I have interest in both of them. Vijay, it frankly depends upon your interest and the passion that you have, I would say. So that question only you can answer, I would say. I was sort of a software engineer for the last 15 years or whatever. Got bored of it, then started reviewing stuff, and now I'm doing this. So I just follow my passions. So I wouldn't say one is better than the other, but technically speaking, I used to make a lot more money with software engineering, and when I used to create software for overseas clients. Anyways, let's move to the next one. And Sanal is asking about which is better, iMac 4K or the MacBook Pro for editing for Final Cut Pro. This is again, I got a reply from Ash. Anyways, I would say it depends. You want a desktop or a portable machine that you can take along with you. I personally do not like the iMacs, but that might be just because of me. Because iMacs don't have that height adjustment, and I feel you need a height adjustment for the computer that you have. So personally, I would go with the MacBook Pro. That is currently, that's what I'm using. I'm using a MacBook Pro 15 inch, and it's connected to my, what do you say, this LG widescreen monitor and stuff. So if I were you, I would go with the MacBook Pro and connect it to a large screen monitor or whatever. That way, let's say when I want to upgrade my monitor or something, I don't have to throw away all my computer. So that's just me, I would say. But if you like iMacs, and definitely you can go with it. It would work fine for video editing. This is by Mayank. He's asking which is the best camera smartphone as of now, no budget restrictions. I would say go with the S7 or the S7 Edge. And guys, before we continue, this is a poll that Lenovo wanted to ask. And it goes like, what's your preferred material at the back of your smartphone? Interesting. First option is metal, glass, polycarbonate. So just vote and just use the hashtag tell Lenovo. Maybe they will listen to your feedback. And I've just made this poll live on Twitter, so you can check that out. So let's just get back. And this is by Prasad. He's asking, does the Moto G4, I think so you're referring to Moto G4 Plus, heating problem is hardware or it can be solved? Technically speaking, they can lower the clock frequency of the Moto G4 Plus, and that should elevate some of the heating issues, but that can actually cause a little bit of lag sometimes. So I'm not very sure if they will do that. So I would just wait and see. But yeah, currently the current implementation of the Moto G4 Plus, if you push the device, if you use it normally, it's fine. But if you start pushing it and play a lot of games, it certainly heats up quite a bit. Okay, this is by Mr. Sheikh. He's asking, which is the best smartphone under rupees 10,000? No lag and great multitasking. Okay, Sheikh, let's be practical. You won't get everything best at the 10,000 price budget. Otherwise, there won't be flagships and stuff. But the best option as of now would be the Redmi Note 3. Let's move. 1 second. Give me a second, guys. Okay. This is by, some of you guys are asking me about televisions. I'm sorry, I have no idea about televisions. I don't review televisions. So can't comment on it. This is by Varun. He's asking, any of the live handsets good enough for daily use? The basic ones are terrible. Yes, the basic ones are sort of terrible, and the expensive ones better. I would suggest that you tag Amit Bhavani, because he's using one of those, not the hyper expensive, but the one of the mid-range ones. That's for 11 or 12,000. I think it's the Earth or the Water series. So you can check with Amit Bhavani with what is the experience that he's having. I know that he's using one of those models. I think it's 11 or 12,000 that one is. Okay. This is by Daniel. He's asking, which OS do you prefer, MIUI or the EUI? I really hate custom UI, so it's, and frankly speaking, I like neither of them. But I feel the EUI, Emotion UI on Honor was a little bit better. But again, frankly speaking, if given a choice between stock Android and MIUI and EUI, I would definitely prefer stock Android, I would say. This is by Varun Raj. He's asking, suggest me a 400 rupees, 15,000 overall performance in my category. I would say if you don't do a lot of heavy gaming, then I would suggest the Moto G4 Plus, because overall the phone was good. Fingerprint scanner was responsive. Camera was actually pretty good, I would say, barring the front-facing camera. And the battery life also could last for a typical working day. But if you do a heavy gaming, then I wouldn't recommend that. Then you can have a look at the Redmi Note 3 or the ZUK Z1. In fact, I really like the ZUK Z1. Overall, it did pretty well. But again, the chipset is slightly older. That is the Snapdragon 801. So let's move. Let me quickly move. Okay, so I will be ending the. Vishal is asking me about thoughts on the ZUK Z1. Vishal, I've already posted my review for the full review for the ZUK Z1 with all its pros and cons just about 2 weeks ago on my channel. So just check out that for more info. Yogesh is asking best phone under rupees 7,000. Lately, I haven't tested any budget-oriented phones. The last one that was sort of decent in that price band was the Redmi 2 Prime, but again, it's sort of old. I don't know why Xiaomi not launching the Redmi 3. I just don't have an idea. So I haven't reviewed a lot of budget-oriented phones. So Redmi 2 Prime was the last one that I sort of liked. Was sort of okay, not perfect, but sort of okay, I would say. This is an interesting question. What is the biggest con of Nexus 6P? This is by Indian Ghost Cricket. Very interesting question. I've already posted my Nexus 6P review. I posted it about 6 months ago, so just don't recall. I feel the biggest problem is it's a very wide phone to hold. So go to a store, pick it up and hold it in your hand and see if you can. It's comfortable for you, because some people who have big hands, it's perfectly okay, but for some people who have smaller hands, they simply cannot digest it, I feel. And apart from that, I would say another thing that I don't like is that the screen has slight yellowish tint that many people might not like. So those are the things that I didn't like on the Nexus 6P. Again, watch my review that I posted about 6 months ago for the detailed pros and cons. Let's move. This is by Ashley. She's asking the best smartphone with the best camera and performance. Oh, that's a tough one. I would say if the best camera and overall performance, I would recommend the S7 or the S7 Edge. The camera is fabulous on the S7 and the S7 Edge. I did carry the LG G4 and even the Galaxy S7 Edge when I was traveling to US. But trust me guys, the S7 or the S7 Edge just takes better pictures. So my pick would be personally would be the S7 Edge. In fact, the S7 is also the same thing regarding the camera performance. So guys, it's been over 30 minutes, so I will be ending this live Q&A session now. And do remember that we do this live Q&A every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. India time. So again, I hope that you'll be able to join me also next week. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video.